Welcome to AIGP News. I'm Steve Sanders. More arrests in Egypt this week as over 100,000 people marched in the capital to demand President Mubarak resign immediately. This came as big news to President Obama, who over 100,000 people called to resign immediately. The U.S. and Egypt have been working on plans to get Mubarak out of office and to establish a constitutional democratic government. One of these plans calls for Mubarak to resign and his vice president to take over, while a new constitution and democratic government could be formed. This plan is said to make a lot of sense, so it probably won't happen. Nobel Prize winning laureate Mohammed el-Baradei, who is leading the protesters, says that 5 months is not long enough to set up a constitution and democratic government. He then went on to sing "Give Peace a Chance" next to a giant poster of John Lennon. President Mubarak has said he will step down when elections happen in September, which is something most people though want him to resign immediately, prompting Dr. Seuss to write a new book called President Mubarak, Will You Please Go Now?, which will sadly not be sold in Egypt. The tail end of one of the largest storms in Australia swept through Melbourne this week, but since this happened in Australia, no one cared. Australia has seen a slew of bad weather this summer, with torrential rains, storms, and all sorts of bad weather. It is also said that this summer in Australia, the dish ran away with the spoon, prompting one of Australia's largest disasters. The suspect in the Michigan mosque bombing attempt fired his attorney this week, saying that he was a Shiite Muslim. He said the only good Muslims were the Lutheran Reformed Muslims. The judge granted his request and assigned him a new attorney, who is now going to get the suspect a sanity hearing, saying that he must be insane because he dislikes Shiite Muslims. Iraq's Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki has said he will donate half of his monthly salary back to the Treasury Department. Or he added, $1 a day, less than the price of a cup of coffee. He said he will donate this back instead of giving it to the starving children in Africa. This came as big news because Iraq mosques have been warning the president not to let poverty run rampant through the country, or what happened in Egypt might happen there in Iraq, prompting none of us to worry. A storm in Dallas turned Super Bowl week into a mess when it dropped over 5 inches of snow. 5 inches of snow. Are you serious? 5 inches of snow is a mess? Come on, people. Here in Ohio, we get 5 inches of snow a night. Come on, we get over 5 inches of snow a night. And then if we're late for work, we get fired. 5 inches of snow is not a mess. Damn, Dallas. People in Dallas are pussies. Ronald Reagan's son, Ron Reagan, has said that Sarah Palin is nothing like his father, in what has to be the most obvious quote of the week. He said that Sarah Palin is nothing but a soap opera who will do anything to stay in the national spotlight, while his father was nothing but an actor who would do anything to stay in films. The scene of the biker bandit arrest of the so-called Bellagio seemed more like something out of World's Dumbest Criminals than something out of Ocean's 11, making us all realize that movies are not real. The so-called biker bandit reportedly bragged all over the place that he did the crime and spent money like it was water. His first words to the public were to tell kids to stay in school so they could be smarter than he was. Now here's another nonsensical, idiotic rant from our own retarded editorial department of Big R. Fool, I'm tired of this fool. That's it. I'm gonna beat you, fool, like I've never beat you before. Wow, that was short. That was good. Wait, what are you doing here? It's time I put you down, fool. Wait, no, don't. Well, Big R here, and he put that fool down, taught that fool some respect. He's ready to tell you about what he thinks of this crisis in Egypt. Yeah, Big R's been studying it. Big R's been reading about it, and Big R knows what's going on. See, that fool Mubarak, he's the president of Egypt, but he don't want to resign immediately. But his people want him to resign immediately. Now, my president Obama, doesn't want to get involved. He doesn't want to get involved, really. But my President Obama should be pushing for that fool Mubarak to resign immediately, because that's what the people want. And my President Obama, he knows you have to bend to the will of the people. And Mubarak, you should be listening to this. You should be listening to Big R. Because Big R knows you have to bend to the will of the people. And the people tired of you, Mubarak. They're tired of you. They're tired of your party. They're tired of everything you stand for. They want you out. They want you gone. They want you on the next train to wherever trains go over there. And they want that done so you can be gone. Because the people, they want to rule themselves. They want to vote for themselves. They want to have a word in for the laws and for the country that you're leading. Now, you may have been a good leader once, Mubarak. You may have been great once. But now the people are tired of you. And they want you out. And Mubarak, you should listen. Because as my brother from another mother said, I have a dream. Well, Big R's got a dream, Mubarak. He's got a dream of a free Egypt. A dream of the people ruling themselves in Egypt. A dream of your party out in Egypt. Big R's got a dream of a free Egypt and a free Middle East. And it's a big dream, but someday it'll happen. And as my brother from another mother, Martin Luther King, said, free at last, free at last. And that's what people in Egypt be saying once you're out. They'll be saying, free at last, free at last. So Mubarak, you should be listening to Big R. You should be listening to him talk. Because his dream is the dream of everyone in Egypt. To be free at last, free at last. That's all Big R got to say about that. Now he's got to wake this fool up so he can finish the news. Thank you, Big R. That was great. That was wonderful. That was the most intelligent thing I've ever heard anyone say. That was great. That was absolutely fantastic. Now please don't hit me again. Now for celebrity news. Mel Gibson's estranged wife, Oksana Griviora, I don't know, met with sheriffs this week to discuss whether she tried to extort Mel Gibson with the tapes of him threatening her. We here at AIGP News, have attempted to recreate this scene for you, and here it is.
Now I've got some questions for you. I expect some answers. Now tell me, if 6 plus 6 is 12, what's 5 plus 9? Don't want to talk, huh? Be quiet. Want to play rough? I can play rough. You don't want me to play rough. You don't need to talk. See, your partner's already told us everything. Yeah, the abacus is cracked. told us everything we want to know. You don't need to say a word, because we already know. Come on, damn you, talk! Want a drink of water? You thirsty? Want some nice cold water? Well, I can get you some nice cold water. Maybe some ice in it. That way it's real cold for you. All you have to do is tell us what we want to know. What is 5 plus 9? Damn it, man! You're gonna talk! You want a cigarette? I'd like a cigarette. You want one? No? Yeah, you do. Well, you can't have a fucking cigarette. No, you can't. Not until you talk. Then this will all be over with. You can go out and have all the cigarettes you want. Damn it! You're going to talk. You're going to tell us what we want to know. Damn you, you scum. Tell us what we want to know. Yeah, you're not worth it, scum.
That was titillating and exciting, wasn't it? The sheriffs reportedly questioned her for over an hour and a half. This new evidence will go to the DA, who will decide if she should be charged with extortion. He will also decide if Mel Gibson should be charged with domestic violence, in what will have to be the hardest 5 minutes of the DA's life. An ex-wife of an NFL player is being sued by the Players Union for compensations of what they said was insurance scam fraud. In news that has to make all ex-NFL wives nervous. The woman, who was married briefly to a marginal NFL player, reportedly after the divorce claimed to be his dependent so she could continue to stay on his insurance. The Players Union is reportedly suing her for the amount that she cost them, in what I'm sure will not improve the negotiations. Teen Mom father Gary Shirley denies harassing Teen Mom star Amber, in what has to be sad news for Amber. In good news for her, she is pretty and will probably be harassed a lot in jail. Famous hip-hop DJ, Funkmaster Flex, has reportedly been charged with harassment, proving once again why the DJ is famous. The harassment charges were brought against him by a 40-year-old woman who claimed he harassed her and threatened her. The DJ had made no comment so far, but we're sure when he does make a comment, it will be backed up by the appropriate music. Now here's our own world's greatest critic to make his Super Bowl prediction. And I was like, hey, you stripper, I want to dance. And she was like, well, I want $1. And I'm like, hey, I don't got $1. All I got is $0.25, but I want to dance. And she was like, what? I gotta talk about something. I'm on. I keep telling you, boy, I ain't one of them queerosexuals. I don't care if you're a queerosexual, but I ain't. I ain't a queerosexual. Now, people, I'm the world's greatest critic, and I'm here today to what the hell am I here today to do? Oh yeah, I'm here today to give a Super Bowl prediction. I knew that. I was just making sure you knew that. You know, it was like one of them tests. You know, like them tap-pop tests your teacher gave you in school. And you were like, damn it, I don't want no damn test. And the teacher's like, too bad, this is a pop test. And you're like, but I didn't study. And the teacher's like, well, that's why it's a pop. And I'm like, well, you're a bastard. And he's like, no, you're a bastard. Now take the test. And I'm like, I'm going to kill you, bastard. And he's like, go ahead and try it, bastard. And then you kill him. Yeah, it's like that. So I'm here today to make a Super Bowl prediction. Wait a second. Isn't this going to air after the Super Bowl? That's what I thought. So won't they just say, well, I just made a prediction after the information was out? Well, if I predict wrong, they'll say I purposely predicted wrong, so it looked like I made a bad prediction, so it looked like it was filmed before the Super Bowl. Yeah, shut the hell up. Go away, Skippy. Now, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about the new Johnny Depp movie. You know, he's really good in it, but he's good in everything. But the movie, it's pretty lousy. It sucks. It really does suck. Now, I don't remember, what was that? Hey, if I wanted your opinion, I'd tell it to you, Skippy. Now zip it. Now, I'm supposed to be making a Super Bowl prediction. Well, I've crunched the numbers, and I've done my research. And I predict the Cleveland Browns will win the Super Bowl 35-27. And they're gonna beat the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, that's who's gonna win. Cleveland Browns are gonna beat the Dallas Cowboys 35-27. And that's my Super Bowl prediction for Super Bowl 45. Which is happening in Sacramento. Yeah. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah, I was telling the Squipper. Yeah, Squipper. That I had a quarter. Where the hell did I put my booze at? Where the hell am my booze at? Thank you, World's Greatest Critic. That was interesting. And, hey, you managed not to pass out again this time. Now here's sports news. A veteran photographer feared for his life as pieces of ice, bowling ball size, almost fell on him from Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Are we seriously on this again? I mean, come on, this really isn't news. Bunch of pussies in Dallas. Dallas, you pussies. We here in Ohio get an inch of ice a night. It's no big deal. We go to work. It doesn't slow us down. We don't whine about it. You bunch of Dallas pussies. Deal with it. Ice happens. Jesus Christ. The New York Knicks have brought in former Vice President of Basketball Operations of the Denver Nuggets, Mark Warkentin. It's a hard name to pronounce. To be the new Pro Players Personnel Director. This came as a shock to everyone because this is the first time in New York Knicks history they actually brought in someone who knew what they were doing. Kevin Love will replace Yao Ming on the All-Star team for the All-Star game. This came as news to everyone who wondered who Kevin Love is. The U.S. Open will reportedly rely more on world ranking than money brought in from America and England this year. Which is good news to the U.S. Open, as we might see a real black or a real Asian golfer for once. Belgian Stefan Ingels reportedly finished his 365th marathon of the year this week. His plans next include sitting on the couch and eating Cheetos. Now for the news you've all been waiting for. Here is the winner of this year's Super Bowl. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. I'm Steve Sanders, signing off.